Alright, good afternoon here, 407, 81 degrees. We got another one of these. Every so often. The wiring on this, the bulb isn't really out. The wiring is just not the best. So anytime something happens, it could be there was a heavy rain. It could be, God forbid I put a cone up against it or something. Like sometimes I do that. I leave the cones at the bottom of at the end of the ramp gate, and when it's away for the night, I'll put a cone like against the light. Like if the light is just touched, like not even hit, just touched, it throws the error code. It throws it's not just an error, like the signal the brake light just doesn't work, and it's just very finicky. Every time I think I've fixed it, done a more permanent fix, rather than those little ties, it just doesn't really hold. So it's just, I don't know, it's one of these things. It's a cheap trailer. I mean, when I bought it was $1,000. It was $9.99. I don't know what the recording looks like. It looks very weird on my screen, and we're actually dealing with more smoke from the Canadian wildfire. So, not very sunny, not very good air quality. Although there's a little hint of sunshine there. But the good thing is, it's keeping the temps cool. I turned the truck on. I said it was 407, 81 degrees. Now it's already down to 79, so it's evening out. Might even go down a couple more degrees. That's like 81 was like in the quote-unquote hot truck that's been sitting all day. I wanted to kind of mention last time I filmed was a week ago today. Turn this towards me. Story time. A week ago today, I filmed. I got caught in that really heavy rain, and we're going back to that same property today, and going to give that one a little more care, because I kind of flew through that. I don't want to use the term half-assed, but more or less half-assed that one to get out of the rain, out of that weather ordeal, and ironically, that one had just happened to be what do you call it? A fifth cut, and it's an expensive lawn. So he got billed for extra, and he already is a pretty high bill. Not high, but it's more work. It's more involved. It's just, it is what it is. You have your cheaper ones, you have your more expensive ones. He's one of my more expensive ones. And when it's a 5-timer a month, that's anyway. I just hate leaving that the fifth one had to be like the half-assed one, so to speak. Let's get the last second. I hate this because this is a downhill, and I could never really get this truck stopped without slamming on the brakes. Brakes on this truck without the trailer are good, but I really, really, really like trailer weight brakes, and I think it's actually Colorado, I read, is trying to really get legislation passed for like this is a 3,500 pound rated trailer. Now it's not 3,500 pounds as it sits, but it's honestly not. It's pretty close, because the mower's like 1,200, and the trailer as it sat when I bought it was 1,000. So you're like, okay, you're only a 2,200 pound, but I added a lot of wood, put wood sides, tongue jack with straps. There's stuff in the not tongue jack. Well, I moved the tongue back, but a tongue box with straps, supplies. I added the spring assist thing. It wasn't a much, but 70 pounds here, 70 pounds there. A couple hundred pounds of the wood. All of a sudden, you're in the you go from 22 2250, whatever, to 2,800 pounds. I don't know, but that brakes would really help this trailer. But I'm not talking about that today. I'm not talking about any of that. What I'm talking about, and I want to bring to everybody's attention, because I figured it out. My last video, like I said, it was shot a week ago. I kind of ended on I was leaving like these oil like rainbow spots all in this driveway, and I knew they weren't there when I first passed. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I was like, is it the hydros in the mower that's leaking? Is it what's leaking? Figured it out. I figured it out kind of as I went. I figured it was the blower. And I was like, all right, well, maybe I just overfilled it and there was some like leftover like residue that like kind of leaked on. You know, sometimes like the top is like the cap and the tank, the outside of the tank itself has like a little gas oil mix on it and whatever. I was like, all right, maybe that was washing away and dripping on the driveway. You know, no, wasn't it? There's fuel lines that come out of the top of that gas tank. This is on the Echo 580T. And there's basically like, I think it was the return line. So there's one that goes up into the motor, one that comes back down into the tank, and then there's a third one with a thing on the top, and that's the third one with the thing on the top is definitely the vent. So this was the one coming back down, so we'll call this the return line. Everybody gets on their brakes, and I hate this when I don't have trailer brakes. Look at this genius. There's a Model Y thing. I don't know if you can see this. With a no Elon sticker. What a fucking loser. Oops. I'm a loser. I'm filming it. I'm zooming into my face. Ithaca College woke. Elon. Anti-Elon. Tell me you're just the most woke POS. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, but that return line was my issue. That basically was just completely out of the tank, right? Just floating, and there was probably drips. It was probably just dripping. I don't think it was like a constant flow, but that was my issue. Now, what do you use to get back that back in there? I either use, because this happened once or twice before. Now, I've had this thing. The one I use is like 1,000,000 years old. I think it's 8 years old. And it just works, and it's great. But what I've used to get back in there is really either really small screwdriver, like an eyeglass kind of screwdriver, just to kind of something, or even what I had laying around in my garage I was right next to was a Allen key set, and there was one that was so microcosmic small that I just kind of used that to push. Jesus, last second yellow light again. I'm getting fucked today with these lights and these hard braking. It was that, you know, I'm losing my train of thought, but that, I'm trying to see, these guys are picking up signs, lawn signs, which I appreciate you picking up lawn signs. I'm trying to see what they're for. Anyway, and then you just kind of you kind of just like use that as a tool to insert that back into the tank. You can see where the other lines are, and just get that kind of wedged in there. But you need something that's very, very small, but it's very sturdy and won't break, to get that, to push that in there. Anyway, that's that was that. Then what else this week? Woo! Film you guys out so you're not staring at my ugly mug the whole time. This week we did Monday and Tuesday were very hot. Today's very cool. We're back down to 79. We're up to 417. I wanted to be on property by 4:15, so I'm a little late. Not late. what did I want? What was I gonna say? What was I gonna say? I did weeding for a client in the super duper hot 98-degree day. That was nice. That sucked. In addition to a mow, and the weeding took longer than anticipated. He was charged extra based on the extra time it took, but he was super appreciative. The extra cost doesn't faze him, or he doesn't even care. He doesn't want to know. I mean, he's like, hey, whatever it is, it is. Just do it for me. No problem, sir. Another woke fucking loser over here with a resist fascism sign. You think his government's a fascist, really? Thing you had, then yesterday I ponied up hard. I got 3 done, which for me 3 is a lot. These are all big properties. Everything's like a minimum of an acre here, and that's minimum. We're mowing. This guy has 16 acres. We're only mowing 3. Here's my very fast left-hand turn signal because the trailer is not blinking. It is what it is. Good there. Good there. Flip this onto me. Oh, this is a very sharp right turn. Then today we're going to do this big lawn. Like I said, this property is huge. It's 16 acres. We're only mowing 3, but that's still mowing 3 acres is mowing 3 acres. And then I'm going to add on a very small one after. That is not small. That thing is huge. We have a nice fire going. Sorry, I'm all over the place with this video. But I'm going to add, after this one, I'm going to, normally I would just like want to call it quits, but I'm trying to get ahead for the week. And after this one, I'm going to be mowing a property that's like 4 acres, but it's heavily wooded and really only maybe a half acre is mowable. They do not have a lot of mowable, whatever. So I could do that in like 15, 20 minutes. It's really, really great. So that's the plan for this week. Tomorrow I'll go down to Mahopac. I actually need to take off from my day job tomorrow, but I am on baby duty, so I'm not going to get much work done until after work. But I'll go down to Mahopac and do those, and then I will be good for the week. Wifey wants to do something Friday night. Go to the farm with the baby, so we'll do that, and then we'll have the weekend, and we're going away like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of not next week, not the week after, but the week after that. So I got to transition away from early in the week cuts to get everybody mowed at the end of the week, and just kind of figure out my what do you call it, the bi-weeklies and how they're gonna fit within that. And I don't want anybody to do within those 3-day period, and that's all. But we're finally arriving on site after a very chaotic long drive. 15 minutes to get here, 14 minutes to get here. It's longer than I want. 4:21 on site. Longer than you want. I think it's like 4:25 by the time I got 4:22 now. 4:25 by the time we got parked and unloaded and on the lawn itself and whatever. But everybody, stay safe. Enjoy your weekends and the rest of the day. It's only Wednesday for us here, but peace. See ya. Alright, time and temp. 6:10, 75 degrees. Anybody want to not have a Super Duty? No way. This is passenger airbag is on. There's nobody in my seat. I mean, there's a hat and a paper, but usually it's got to be like 60, 75 pounds, something like that, to trigger the airbag sensor, not to, that there's somebody in there. All right, so this is part 2 to the same video because I'm pretty frustrated. Really thought I fixed the that issue with the blower, and I did not. And we're leaking fuel all over the place. First one it was fine for, to my knowledge. But take it off here, and I store, you know, you're gonna tell me get racks, get this and that, and you know, you're right, I should have a rack, whatever. I don't think it would make a difference though. I had the blower in the bed of the pickup. It's held on with the bungee strap. It's not really going anywhere. It's not tipping, it's not anything. Okay, it's not even really moving. It's towards the back too. There's my another warning light. This is like death by 1,000 paper cuts here. But anyhow, I kind of grabbed it with one. I don't like put both arms through at exactly the same time. But how would you? I mean, unless you're like, I don't know, it'd be very weird and awkward to do that. So I put my I put my right arm through because the trigger and everything is on the side, on the right side. So I put my right arm through, and the thing leans down to the right. Now the gas, the side of the gas can where the return that's leaking is, that's on the left side of the tank, but it just dribbles down all over the tank, and it fucking sucks. It's very frustrating, and I'm gonna put it back in, but I think everything's kind of messed up, and this is where it's like becomes annoying because I'm sure the replacement parts are cheap. I have no doubt about that, but it becomes like one of these things like where I might as well just get a new one, because these, especially, it's one thing if you're like talking about replacing a 9010 that's like $600-700. This is not that. This is a 580T. This is like a $330 blower. You know, half the price of a 9010. So I don't know. You know, you could buy them at a big box store like a Home Depot, whatever. There's actually there's a dedicated steel. I like my Echo equipment, but there's a dedicated steel dealer over here right by me. And I really like the idea of their side start stuff. So I don't know, I might just, we'll see. We'll give this another fix or two, and if we're not successful, if it keeps failing, I don't want it. See, my thing is I've gotten very lucky where it does not leak down my backside, and because that would be the worst if my back or my butt or whatever is full of an oil fuel mix. That, and then you're dragging that into a truck with cloth seats. Like, I would take my pants off, and I wouldn't even know what to do. Like, you know what? So I'm very fortunate. I'm like, all right, let me fix this before that happens, and I can just envision that happening very easily. I'm honestly surprised it has not happened yet. Not that I want to, you know, speak that into existence or anything, but just kind of thinking out loud that something, this really need to get this, really need to fix this, and I might try and make a video on it. But at the least every day, my hands are coming home smelling like this oil fuel mix. I shower, I can't get it off me. The scent is just so strong. It sucks, but it is what it is. Anyway, that's just an update, part 2 of this video, and about to pull in the driveway, so I might make a video repairing it. I honestly might not. It all depends how crazy life schedule is. But everybody have a good one. Peace.